Welcome to today's video. For some time I want to make a series of videos of surfing through the Google Earth and look at the geomorphology, geology and other interesting aspects. So I decided to make these videos, probably I will make them as live stream, probably because I'm not sure how my software will react. I just recorded it and then at the time I'll try to maybe do it live stream. So we are looking at our planet Earth through the program that's called Google Earth Pro. And it's interesting to say that it's available for everybody and it's free. So you can download it right now. You can download it on your cell phone, any phone you have, on your Mac or any other computer. And you can also use it to watch through the web browser, so you don't have to be using desktop or your phone. So if you look in a website where they have it, so you just Google, just find correct one, google.com Earth and versions, and here you can see you can get any versions for whatever phone or computer you have. You can create maps, so there's a lot of advanced tools, but just for everybody I recommend to have it. You can use one. I have one on my phone and I use one at my home desk computer. You can do more things with the one on the desk computer, Google Earth Pro on desktop, and I've been using it all my life basically since it exists. On the mobile I do use it because I don't like Google Maps. I don't know why, maybe because I use that one all the time. So I have a separate program on my phone, and if I know I'm going somewhere, for example for the bushwalk, or I need to go to some new location, streets, I don't know, I need to find parking, I don't have data or Wi-Fi. If I don't have Wi-Fi on my phone, I just downloaded the page, so I open on the area I needed, and I don't close this screen on my phone, and I go to the area and I can look through and navigate around this area. So that's this little life hack for you. But then if you do Google Earth, you just downloaded it, PC, Mac or Linux, and you just download it. It's a very small file, just upload it and it'll be installed on your computer like that. So let's look at that. So this is me in my Google Earth. When you install it, it will come out like that. So you also will have probably this bar open through the left, and you have your Earth. So you can see I use my mouse, and there's a different way of navigating around, and you can kind of look on any part of our globe, our planet. You can see also here on the background the sky, there's a Milky Way going there. And also Google Pro reasonably, reasonably recently, I've been just using it for a long time, gives an options. You see there's like a bar where you can navigate and do all different functions. You can use sky, so you can switch between Earth, sky. It's what we see right now above, if it was a night. So you can see all the planets, galaxies, whatever you need to Andromeda, you see here. And you can actually explore and Google into them, and they give you a lot of links, and you can click on whatever star, or you can see where the asteroid is moving or where the comet is right now, this kind of stuff. You can also switch between planets, and it's offer us Mars, and it just takes some time to a little bit loading because depends on your internet connection. And there's a lot of images as you see, so you can explore the Mars, for example, and it's also have a moon. So whatever you want, I have some in my subscribers, people believe in existence of moon and Mars or not. We do have satellite images, and you can see it's even how the satellites photograph the moon, and some of them are high resolution, some of them are worse, and I will explain you how to navigate and how to see different features. For example, this is the landing site, so we have much nicer image, of course, and you can even click on things and show you historical photography or information, or give you a link for whatever is happening there. So let's come back to our Earth, and I'll do a series of these videos. So first, in that one, I will just explain you how we use Google Earth. Maybe you never used it, why you want to use it, and especially if you are interested in geomorphology, geology, just our Earth, if you want to study, and how in particular I try to tie it up, maybe later while we progress, to how we study geography, geomorphology, geology with this, because as you can see, it's an amazing tool. Not to just navigate, see the cities, study your streets, find a car park, or measure the property you want to buy, this kind of stuff. You can see historical photography, so we have specific bar here. You can see what's happened with the Earth through the time, whatever these images are available on the day. You can have different layers, so you can put something like I visited Rome some point and I downloaded this whole program that showed me, I will show you later. You can put all the historical Rome, how it was before, when it was ancient Great Rome, before it's been collapsed. So it shows us the Rome how it was 2000 years ago, and it's even 3D, built all the houses. I'll show you later, and you can put this like a layer of this on top and see modern buildings or ruins of the Rome, and on top of it this kind of stuff. But in particular for geologists, geographists, we can study the faults and the mountains. For example, this is our Alps, and we can see glaciations, and I use it a lot, and especially looking at historical photography to see whether ice melted, not melted, how far it's moved down the valley, what's happened with the lakes, with the rivers, how they changed the course. So there's a lot of application. You can, without going out into the field, you can use the Google Earth to study changes and even write articles and papers. If you're quite clever, and it will give you a lot of information, because you can also have a local photography, so the people uploaded the pictures of the features, so you can compare it without you don't have to go far away in a long distances for big money to check something quickly. What this feature is, this just a pile of rocks brought by people, or it's a rockfall, or what is it? So we talk about this, and we talk about all the features Google Earth has, and I love it because this is my favorite tool application I use throughout all my studies. The moment it's appeared, we used to just use Google Earth, and then it's become Google Earth Pro, and I downloaded it. I don't remember if it was paid first, but then now it's free, and I think they ditched the original Google Earth, so now it's only Google Earth Pro. But the Google Earth Pro give you a little bit more functions. You can do like more sophisticated measurements. You can bring your GIS. So if you went to the field and do some measurements on your very precise tool, I don't know, some kind of theodolite or something like that, you can put all these coordinates into the Google Earth, and recalculate it and give you georeference, we call it. So you can do this kind of stuff, and we do it in science when we go in the field. So Google Earth could be a very good tool to use even for professionals. And I recommend it to use for everybody, because we cannot in this lifetime travel whole Earth and see all the features, or in particular something like Antarctica or Mars. So Google Earth give you this opportunity here and now to study our world for free. So we start with what is the Google Earth. So the Google Earth is basically a collection of satellite images of our planet Earth, and as you see, Mars and Moon, and for example, sky. And they combined in a way so they georeference, so they have coordinates. You can see here down on the screen, and they also show you elevation. First elevation 0 meters here. This is where my hand is, like my pointer. And elevation, altitude, so how high you are over the ground, over the whatever horizon you have. Could be ocean, sea, or lake, or mountain. So right now I'm 537.44 kilometers over the ground. It shows me here, and this elevation of this area particularly is 0, and that's logical because sea level is attributed to be 0. And then if I bring you over the mountains, where are we? Let's go to African mountains here. You see straight away, for some reason my elevation doesn't change, probably because I don't have terrain. Yeah, so I switched off terrain, sorry. So we have elevation. Terrain, it's like topography basically. So when it's off, elevation doesn't show you, so it doesn't account it for it, so sorry. So I did turn on, these are my layers, interface, I'll explain later. And it shows me, for example, here, my elevation, 400 meters, so particular surface of the ground here, or of a mountain or hill, will be 300, 400, and you can see if we're going high in the mountains, somewhere it's 1.2, so it's probably, you can see tall mountains. And the eye level change the more I move inwards, so closer to the ground. So right now I'm 162 kilometers over the ground, right now 45, and I zoom, I'm 7, and so on. So if you were, for example, 1 kilometer over the ground in this particular area, that's what you will see. Particular elevation of this land is 269, 270 meters, 72, 3, 4, and so on. So they combine the Topomats basically georeference the images that they got from satellites and they put them together. That's how they built the Google Earth. That's why sometimes you see when you zoom out, the pictures could be different colors, some pictures a little bit darker. They're kind of unified here. So the more you zoom in out, the more the bigger with less resolution image they show you. So that's why it might take some time to load it, especially if you have a not such a fast internet. But it's usually pretty much quite good. So, and then, okay, let's go to Australia and New Zealand. That's where that's where I am right now. So I'll go over New Zealand a little bit easier for me to talk about this. So I'll turn off this terrain so we don't confuse at this stage. And we continue talking about what we see else. So it says Google Earth, obviously. And it shows me my eye level. That's a little bit like loading bar. And imagery date. So whatever image you are right now over. So right now I'm over this one. You see it switched. So go higher. And that image is where my, when my hand is 1st of January 2021. So that's how this particular area looked like. And then if you zoom in, I zoom in, this is that same image. You see it didn't change. And for example, over North Island, it shows me, no, it doesn't show me over the seas here. It shows me 12 of 14 December 2015. Well, not much happened in the ocean, so that's why they didn't upload it for more recent image. But usually if it's like cities and farms and land where, people live, usually the imagery is pretty updated, like last 4 or 5 years. Usually Google Earth is quite good, so they do re-uploaded the images, which, well, I found throughout the history, depends where I am, they uploaded quite recent pictures. But sometimes you go to some terrain and better resolution or better lighting, and you can see more features for geomorphology. There could be a little bit older image, 3-5 years, but depends what you study. Like when I study glaciers, maybe I'll be a little bit particular which year is this, or floods and this kind of stuff. But if you study like basic mountains, hill slopes, this kind of stuff, so it's not very crucial. So I hope you got a little understanding how imagery and geolocation works. And then navigation. So navigation here, we use this hand here, and I use mouse. You can hear me scrolling. So when I scroll out, I obviously zoom out, then scroll in, I'm zoom in. Let's go to Taranaki volcano, which has been very nicely farmed all around. So I'm zoom out, zoom in. You can also move mouse to the left and, where my hand, that's where the zoom will go. So if my hand is here and I start zooming, so you see kind of focus of the zoom shift towards the left, then towards the mountain specifically. I usually use the mouse. That's how I get used to do it. If we click the left button and hold, we kind of hold the earth, and we're kind of gonna move around it, a little bit shake it. And then if we click the right hand, we can a little bit shift. If I go to the right and up, I shift kind of in the clockwise direction, and I go down and left with my mouse. If I go forward, I can zoom in, down and up, zoom out. So you can do this kind of stuff. I hope you didn't feel sick. And then you have this bar, which you can do everything on this bar. So zoom out, zoom in. Sometimes this is for terrain, I'll show you later. And that one is your compass, you can move around like that, you see. You can move north, that's my north. Or you can click it once and it's just automatically take you to the north. And I like the keyboard R, which I click, usually it's like automatically my hand sits on it. I click R and shift for terrain, and R to bring yourself to this. Yeah, because you have to move your mouse, take time and back, so I like to do this. But it's very personal, it will come to you. So let's move further. So with navigation, what else we can do? We also can do this, you see the kind of hand thing, we can see the 3D topography. So the Earth, it's not very flat. And what the Google Earth does, it takes the satellite image and puts on the topography which we know exists, which been measuring it on the ground and stuff like that, or by satellites. It's georeferenced, so it's tied it up to the coordinates. So our topomat combined with satellite image, and then you can build this kind of 3D view. So right now when I'm kind of looking down on the Earth, I don't much care about this, yeah? But the moment I kind of want to see, oh, look, is this a mountain or not? I'm not sure, this is a volcano or not. So what I do, I first of all reference myself to the north, and then I'll turn on terrain, and it might take some time to load because, it's kind of 3D image. So and especially if you're around the big city, it will show you all the skyscrapers, this kind of stuff. So you want to maybe take time. And then I usually hold the shift. So when you hold the shift, and then what I do, I can zoom out or zoom in with my, mouse roller, and it will show me, you see kind of in 3D, the terrain. So you can see the slopes, the rivers, the depressions, the lakes, the mountains. So I can zoom in without clicking it, and then see the volcano here. And then I can press the air, and it's giving me straight away again this bird eye view. Yeah? So I'm interested in these features, for example. See, it takes a little bit loaded. This hard flows, for example, of the volcano. And what I do, I go shift, and I kind of look 3D with the flow, and I see what the rims, what the edges of it, and so on. So you can kind of study geomorphology like that. And it's very useful, especially if you work with the mountains and hills. You can see, there's a deep groove here. And there's looks like a glacier, but it's not. It's the volcanic stuff coming out. So let's come back to our R, and I'll show exactly the same on Mangkok area, glaciers. So that's the South Island. See, it will take a little bit time to load because we have this terrain. I turn on, it's a little bit slower. So it show you where I am on loading. So for some reason my internet, that's why I didn't do live stream, a little bit slow today. So that's the Mangkok. Finally we loaded it, and we see there's a Pukaki Lake, and you see how the image is switching. So zoom out, there's a bigger, less resolution, as I say, different image, and then I'm gonna zoom in and give me more, detailed, different time images. So these ones are, you see it switched straight away. This one's is 18 December 23 last year, yeah, the year ago, and then I switched a little bit lower. It's still same. And I go a little bit more north towards my glacier. It's a little bit different images. They do pick. Sometimes there's like a clouds in the images or something else. So they have to. It's a whole work to pick the images that nice and color, and the sun should be above. Because sometimes too low sun and half of the valley will be in the shadow and this kind of stuff. So they do spend a lot of time to working on this. We should appreciate it. So that's my glaciers here, and the Mangkok is here. And the big glacier plateau is here, and it's going down. Hochstetter ice fall into the Tasman Glacier, which is melting down. There's a lake. And here, let's try this topography thing. Again, I hold my shift, and I just shift it down with the left button, so I can move forward and back without any button, and I hold the left button, shift at the same time. And I can do this. Yeah, you see my topography is a little bit exaggerated, and I like it because it gives me a better sense of topography, but we can change it. So when you have your layers at the back, so let's just talk through what we have. So here the normal functions file, edit the view tools, add and help, which I will explain you what we do, what we use it for. Search, you can find any location or place, or I don't know what feature. Then we have places. So this is your places. So I have temporary places which I use on this, why I'm open this screen right now, and then when I close it they will probably be deleted. But I can open my places, and that's what I see. I have a lot of where I have my folders, files. It could be addresses, somebody, could be some features. You can draw polygons, this kind of stuff. And then we have the layers. In the layers you can collapse these things as well. You can see, and we have layers, and the layers have a lot of stuff, so I usually turn them off. You see, and it's straight away go to flat earth kind of thing situation. But when we turn on, it's bring back my terrain, and you can pick what you want, because if it's everything on, it's too much information. So the borders and labels will show you this is, for example, this country, this is this. Yeah, today we're not very happy, are we? There's also things like places of interest. It can tell you London and all information about London, or Rome, mention Rome, or I don't know, Chinese wall, this kind of stuff, glacier. Roads, quite useful if you're going for the trip, so you're going to look for roads. So let's see here for the roads, around Mangkok. It's straight away the roads appear. So you see, I kind of by default turn off because it will load slowly. But you can also see, study your route if you want to drive. 3D buildings, that's the feature, amazing. You can also see 3D trees, and we'll have a look at those. Weather, I don't think I ever used it, but whatever. And the gallery. Gallery, this will be this type of things like national park or something there, I don't know, supermarkets, I think. And more could be whatever you want. So here it's a terrain, that's what I use right now. And photos, of course. And photos, that's the photos which people uploaded. So you can upload your photo, but you need to put specific location. So I will choose location and I put photo here. You need to be quite precise, because often I find locations and I click on a photo and it's totally, I do know it's geomorphologically it's not there, or it's from different country, this kind of stuff. So often people do this, and I don't understand why they do this, but you can complain about it and this photo will be checked and probably removed if it's incorrect position. So I think it's quite important, because when I'm trying to study particular area or city I'm going to, well, right now you can do the ground view as well, but photos could be quite useful. So we talked about the layers, so you can turn them on, and you can one by one switch them off. But it's too much information, so I like to keep them off, for example, so I'm not overloading. Let's try with the photos. Okay, so this is our Lake Pukaki. Amazing glacial, that's why it has such an amazing color lake, because all this crushed material brought from the glaciers, by the rivers. And for example, let's have a look. So there's a dam built here, and I want to make a video about this. There's amazing hydro system when they use all these rivers, all this network of dams to generate electricity. And actually a lot of South Island and some North Island use this hydro power, so it's interesting talk. If you're interested, let me know. I will make a video about that specifically. I have quite a geological engineering insight into that, because I know people who were involved in building it and stuff, so I can dig you some interesting information. You see, this is a channel that they built. So let's have a look. Well, this is the channel. Let's click on the photo, and my program will not allow me to show you this, so I have to open it separately. So I'm sorry for the fuss. I just click open image, and hopefully it will appear on your screen. And this is how the lake looks like it's some kind of spring. There's still a little snow. That's how it looks like. But you see, again, it's not the channel actually, but it's the view. And again, this photo is misplaced. Excuse me. I'll show you it. Yeah, I'm trying to see the channel, and you see this image a little bit misused. Let's try another one. Third is a charm, as they say. Open image. Yeah, this looks like it is the picture of the channel on this island there. You can try to find this location. Probably, yeah, it is. It is this island specifically, so it's a good position for this photo. Let's try that one again. And Ben Ahai Station. So that's one probably a little bit misplaced, but close enough. So that's idea for you what we do in the Google Earth, like just on a general sense. And of course you go to cities. So let's go to Wellington, for example, the capital of New Zealand. The Wellington, the great capital of New Zealand. And you see the Wellington, it's kind of spread around these hills all around. So we have a Miramar Peninsula. We see already buildings from eye view 12 kilometers. And give you elevation, and you see there's an airport, obviously. You can see the main features. There's industrial kind of stuff. There's stadiums and fields for rugby, buildings, suburbs. This is central, kind of here, shops, coffees, and businesses, and skyscraper business. There's a stadium and train station here, and a port, port. Ferry arriving here. We don't have it on this image right now, and there's a marina. So that you can see this kind of stuff already from eye view, and you see where the hills are and the suburbs. For example, I want to see 3D, so I do my again shift, and I see how it looks on the ground. And I don't have 3D buildings, so you see it's kind of like squished and stretched the buildings, the image over the topography. But if you go here, and let's remove the photos, and let's put 3D buildings. And let's put the trees as well. I did automatically. As you can see, Taranaki is standing up, and Rupeho, and we can see the 3D buildings. And this is pretty new. I think, well, maybe it's last for 5 years feature. I didn't used to play with it, and you can see the buildings. It's very cool to go in the cities where you have, like a New York, skyscrapers, you can study it. So that's the Wellington business district, but there's also some flats and stuff. And I told you I have 3D exaggeration, so I don't think it's applied for the buildings, but it does apply for topography. So I promise I'll show you how to change it. So when I go to the tools and you go to the options, it gives you all the settings you can change, and you can do map size, you can change zoom relation, you can change your latitude longitude, so you can be decimal degrees, decimal minutes, universal, transverse, Mercator, all different sounds. And depends like what is your GPS and what you're using for your work and studies. Usually I like degrees, minutes, and seconds, but because I've been using some GPS equipment, I've been using that one. So you can change that. And then you can change other settings. For example, if you, I don't know, feet and miles, what is this, in states or whatever, or England, you can change it. I like meters, kilometers, because it's universal, I understand what does it mean. And then you can do different graphic mode. And elevation exaggeration is here, and terrain, 3D buildings and trees as well. So I have on 3, let's go on 2. Let's compromise. Use high quality terrain and use 3D imagery, disable. Yeah. So this kind of stuff, so apply and it'll a little bit change it. But I telling you, like, for geomorphological point of view, I do like use a little bit 3D exaggeration. You see how nicely all the buildings here are. It's amazing. And even trees, you can see even trees 3D. Yeah, boats and stuff. Some new buildings. And if we want to see streets, I just press R and give me eye view, and I can see the roads. But you know, if you have a situation like that, you probably should turn off, because the building's not gonna let you see. So this is our beehive, the government. And if the last thing, it's kind of feature thing you can do, it's to bring the street view. So you probably heard about this and seen the memes on Instagram, whatever, and TikTok. There's a lot of buses, whatever, cars driving around the planet Earth in many places where there's agreement with Google Earth, and they filming everything, like all the buildings, windows, whatever view they have with these cameras on the car, on top of the car. And you can go to position. So if I take this, grab this map, kind of like Google Maps as well, you know, you do it in Google Maps, and I drop it, you see it did the Wellington Central. So there's a monument and there's a beehive, yeah, when apparently the government sits. So we drop this man here, and I can again navigate. You see it switched straight away to street view, and I can see Wellington University. There's a train station there. There's this beautiful park, and there's the monument you can see because of this pole, and there's the buildings, and there's a beehive and other buildings. And as well, it tells you this is the image date, September 22. So that's how it looked like at that time. We can tell because people wearing masks still. They don't do it now. And there's some kind of pop-up stations. I think they not exist there anymore. I don't know. Oh no, this is actually the bus stations. It's all good. So that's what you can do. And then you can also walk the streets like that. So you can see the shadow of this car in the camera. That's what I told you. They kind of take in 360 image, and even a little bit high up. So, and if I go forward, I'm just clicking. You can choose, I want to go there, or I want to go this street, so I'll go there. And I'm going to switch, you know, with time and show you different perspective. So if you, for example, trying to move somewhere or going somewhere, or trying to find car park, sometimes I'm confused with the driving, like how you're supposed to drive here. So I check, you know, with the lines and markings and lighting, this kind of stuff. So that's what you can do in the Google Earth. That's why I love Google Earth. For me, like Google, I know people do it in Google Maps, but I'm old-fashioned. I use the Google Earth for that. So let's zoom out and let's turn off these buildings. So another thing I want to show you in this video, it's about searching and my places. Yeah, so that's another function. So maybe if you totally like done it a million times, you know how to do it, you're thinking, oh, why is she explaining this? This is a kind of like a tutorial thing, and I also show you my perspective on it. So you don't have to watch it or like it if you don't want to. If you know already everything, you don't have to even go and open my videos ever, because I'm not gonna tell you something you don't know, because you're probably too smart. But some people really interested, and some people just like to kind of, sometimes I rewatch videos other people say about something I already know, because it gives me different understanding perspective, or I understand that people do think like me sometimes, which is cool. So let's zoom out. This is my New Zealand, and I want to show you something. Let's see, use my places. So I can search for something here. So the search bar. So it's interesting that the Google Earth can search you. For example, I'm in the Wellington again. Oh, let's come back. But I want to go for supermarket, and I want to go like in this suburb, for example, not this suburb. So if I go to supermarket, and I click it, and it give you wherever you see in the image, you know, bird view, it will show you wherever there are different types of supermarkets, yeah? Or you can search for specific one, like, for example, I don't know, New World or something. But you see, it show me what we have here, and it's even a little bit zoom out, give you more options. So sometimes I look for, like, for the post office, or I look for something like that, train station, anything. hockey field or whatever. New World, Kandala, you see, Woolworths, Crofton Dance, New World, Thornton, okay. And then the more you zoom in, the more it's like show you specific actual building. Yeah, that's the building of New World. And if we drag the man to check if it's true, and we see, oh, there's a car park, and there's a New World supermarket. Yeah, pretty busy car park on 6th of 2019. That's pretty old image. Building instructions everywhere. So exit street view. So that's how you can see, and you can even here see give you all these options you can find. Yeah. So let's close it. And there's also history. So get directions or history. Get directions. It's kind of like you can put right now, for example, on Central Station, and I want to go to this New World. So give you let's do it. Let's go, for example, Pitoni, so a little bit more distant. Pitoni. And then I go Central Station, Central Wellington. I don't know if it's understand. So maybe it's a little bit too vague for it. No, I did understand. It's good. See how smart it is. So I'm from Pitoni. For some reason I was... it brought me here to the train station, yeah? So, and it tells me that it will take, it's 12.1 kilometers, it's 12 minutes on the state highway, and tell me you can take a train as well, and it only doesn't tell me how much it's going to cost, but it does tell me how much to take on the bus, 34 minutes or 15 minutes on the train, this kind of stuff. Or you can, take a bus, which I don't recommend, or you can walk, which probably you can do it. It's even show you different things. Turn left, it give you indication what you should do. If I'm gonna walk, it's gonna take me up to 3 hours, okay. And if I'm gonna go on a bicycle, it'll be a little bit faster, 38 minutes. And many people cycle. So, but then like you can change this position. So you see, I can shift this probably, can I? And move it somewhere else, yeah. So that's what it does, and it show you different. Once I was searching for something, and give me like 3 ways I can do it. I can do it long way, scenic way, this kind of stuff. And another feature of the search, you go to history and it show you what history you've been looking for. Yeah. So let's clear it. So it show me just what I did. Yeah. So it saves there. So if you, I want to come back and check something, you can go to history. So places, I told you places, this is my places, whatever I have, and you can click them all, click them off. And interesting one, so when you have something in places, like I found something and I mapped it, for example, or put point, because you can put point, you see there's like a little pin, so you can put point in any place. And let's just do it. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. And yeah, you can have a pin, you can name it, put coordinates, you can change its color, you can make it red, for example, this kind of stuff of the letters, or you can make a different sign. For example, I will do coffee, my favorite coffee shop, for example. And you can put it specifically on a building or whatever you want to do it on the geomorphology. So it's very, I use it in before I go to the field trip, for example, I study the terrain and I put this is hill, this is river, and kind of this kind of stuff. Or proximate age, or proximate what I think it is a landslide deposit or glacial deposit, this kind of stuff. So, okay, so there's a cafe here, although I know there's no cafe there. And you can delete it. Let's delete it. So that's what you can do with your places as well. And then when you come and you click on it, it will take you straight to this. So I have example of Ming Dynasty Great Wall in China. So when I open it up, so I click on it, so it's visible, and I click on it twice, and it'll take me straight away to China, and whatever the border with Russia, and it'll show me this, probably it's a fortress, show me this, it is, that's the wall. And they have somebody like, I don't know who mapped it, according to the research, and you see all the traces where you can see it, where you can find it. That's why it's loading, because it's all these mountains are gonna load it now. Yeah, and this is all the China wall, or remnants. I was doing this with the Hadrian wall as well, and you can walk it through, and you can reference, when you look on the Google and see, okay, it's there, and I can go and find it on the terrain, and then you can use this droppy man and see if it's there or not. For example, in China, I don't know if somebody have a droppy man here. So let's find some position. I was looking for some interesting features, so you see it's all loading because a lot of look. This is the China wall for some reason going a little bit around something. Maybe it was some kind of important. I don't know. object of ancient, what is it, which one is it, Ming Dynasty time. Interesting. I don't know why they circle this area, so it'll be something to research about. And you have the traces of the wall. And if I just zoom in, you see I have my terrain, so I'll just turn off the terrain for a second. And if I zoom in, I'll place the air, so it's all reference, and then zoom in, and when the image will load it, please thank God loaded faster, I will see how it looks on terrain. See, this image is 21. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much left of the wall here, but you can still trace it through geomorph, yeah? And you see maybe somebody plotted it and not this precise, but it could be also they plotted it on one image and other image a little bit shifted, so it could be a little bit, that's why we have this several meters dislocation, mislocation. So unfortunately I can't show you the Chinese wall perfectly. Oh, here maybe it's a little bit better. Yeah, but I think this part of the Chinese wall not as pronounced or preserved. Although you see it's kind of overgrown, but I believe they're probably the China wall. Let's see the photos. And then when you're here in whatever you do, geomorphology or city studies, you turn on the photos, and Googlers have to have a lot of images, and then they kind of get rid of them. And they keep saying you still can see those images somewhere. Whatever I tried to find older imagery, I never could find, because sometimes people used to upload it like nice images, and I really like them, and then they delete them all, and now like new people upload it, and for some reason new people keep misplacing. This really cracks me out. For example, with Chinese wall, you see we will find a position with a lot of photos, so it's mean somebody, like a touristy kind of destination. You see again we have this kind of loop around. I don't know if somebody knows, commented below why the China wall goes like that. And we have this it looks like a river or something. You see, it's hard to tell. And I click on the image and it's in Chinese. And you can see, okay, there's a highway, there's a road, and we can't see too much vegetation. We can't see the remnants of the Chinese wall. So it goes like that around here. So we should go somewhere it's a little bit more visible, yeah. So you can just spend like days study Chinese wall. Believe me, it's so fun, Googlers. I don't know, like if I have all time in the universe, I'll just doing that, traveling the planet Earth without moving a finger, just a finger. No, these images doesn't show anything about the wall. It's all about waterfalls. Sorry, I don't think you don't see my images. Anyway, so there was a failure, so you have to kind of fish for the good images. Let's go towards sea, and there will be a little bit better, probably more touristy zone, better photos. Open image. It's, you see, because of copyrights, they don't allow me to show you the images. I think that's why. All right, so somebody photographed the Chinese wall. No. All right, so bad luck, but you can see how it works. You see, the Chinese wall is enormous, huge. Look, it goes all the way here till, can't believe it. No, it's not Kyrgyzstan. What is it? Mongolia. So if we put the borders, and you'll be surprised with my geography knowledge. We put the borders and we put the roads, and it would give us like where is what. So this is just the provinces of China. So the China walls, it goes all the way till here, till basically Tibet. It's impressive how they build it, like explain me how, who. I understand why basically people always like to build the walls and fences, but how, that's another question. Chinese walls are amazing. Anyway, so that's what we do with the layers and photos and borders and this kind of stuff, and you can all collapse it. So that's what I use my places. There's one folder I just made up for you, Google. So that's what I want to use today. So you can kind of shift these folders, you can delete them, or you can shift them, boom, and I shift it into my temporary places, so I can collapse this so you don't have to see what I'm doing in my places. And you can see here Google. So we can whatever save there, but then you can transfer it to my places if you want to save it. Let's look at the next feature which we can study. And I will make more videos. I'm just repeating myself again, and continue to look at specific geomorphology through the Google Earth and trying to show you the difference or how it could be confusing. You can use it for your studies. You can use it for just your own interest. It's a lot of fun. Or you can just listen to me and just have fun. What next one I want to show you? I want to show you that actually we were in correct direction. We were around the Tibetan Plateau, just located to the north. And I will go to the Pamirs. Pamirs, it's the area north of this very north edge of the this Tibetan plateau, kind of when it's crashing towards Eurasian plate in the stand crushing, and this is where these lines of the ridges of the mountains kind of squashing out. Here peaks of up to 7,000 meters, so it's quite a terrain again, quite a high mountains. Of course, not like here in the Nepal, but still quite a tall mountain. 7,134, I think it's the Lenin Peak, the highest peak there in this area, and it's very popular climbing destination for alpinists and stuff. And this is the Ali Valley, and I had videos about this a lot, so if you're interested in deposits, I just want to show you because it's very impressive and it's easy to kind of explain what I'm trying to explain you now. So another feature Google has, so you have like put the point, as I told you, and actually if you look closer, you see this is all the white rivers, it's the glaciers, and this is actually rivers, white stuff, it's the rocks, and we have these deposits about which I talk in other video. So this image here, it's 21, 24, not bad, wow. And so quite updated imagery, I didn't see it. And then we have features, so we can put the point, for example, I can put point and I change it for, usually I do this, often I do this, camp, my tent, little tent, and I put it, I call it, okay, and I'll call it something like my camp, yeah. Camp 1M. So you have a camp, for example, and we can change position, properties. I can shift it. For example, I camp it not on the river, maybe here, somewhere here. Once I camp specifically here, so it's a very good place to camp. So that was my camp here. So let's leave it here. And you can see it's already straight away. Oh no, it didn't save me. I can shift it to my Google. So that's where it saved it. That's my camp. And then what I want to do, I want to, for example, build a polygon. So I want to, okay, we're camping here. And I explained it before, for example, this is some hills and this is some hills. This is how they look from the eye view. And I want to study them. So I'm going to draw a polygon around this area. So just circle around where I think it's particular deposit. Yeah. And it's straight away, it's amazing. I can name it deposit 1, whatever. It's straight away give me altitude because the polygon, it doesn't. And they give me measurements. For example, perimeter is in kilometers, please, or in meters. 6.9 kilometers. Square miles, square meters. It gives me, it's not even 1,000, 1,384 square meters, or square kilometers, 1.4 square kilometers. So you already can do estimation. For example, you study landslides or floods or something, farmland against the native forest, so this kind of stuff. So you can already study and give you measurements, and you can save it, and then I can click on it and I can check. So you can map particular features, especially like if I'm studying glaciers, I will, for example, measure how much the tongue of my glacier, ablation zone, accumulation zone. This is the feeding area, so I will study with the feeding area. If I'm going to study the landslide, I know, for example, this is the source of the landslide, so I can study this source area and estimate how much by volume it was. You know, you can do things like that. We do use ArcGIS a lot as well. It's a little bit more specific, but this Google Earth can give you fast reference information. Or if you have a lot of statistics, and you're not so much specific about plus minus, you know, several cubic meters, you can use it for that, yeah? Delete it. You sure? Yes, I sure. But another thing I want to tell you about this, for example, here, let's see if there's any photos. I should upload some photos for that. Oh, not so many photos, recent ones. I see a couple here. So let's have a look. So this valley, I come to this valley, there's obviously a river there, there's mountains, glaciers, hills, and some kind of weird deposit. So I'm like, what is this? You know, like I can't go there. It's somewhere in a remote area. So we open the image, what people give us, open image, and you see straight away, okay, this is the village, the photograph, this is the riverbed there, and this is the hill slopes, and this is the bedrock coming out somewhere. So this is actually looking north. It's other side of the valley. But let's try in this image, maybe. Yeah, that one is Zalai Hrebet. It's the one that on the south. And you can see there's the road, field road. You can see this bedrock coming out here. We cannot see the glaciers because they end up deep in the valley, but you can see the Lenin Peak here to the right and the source. So that's where you can see just from somebody's uploaded picture. So you don't have to actually go there and reference. All right, is anybody have a picture of hills? No, not these guys. These guys just have an image. I have a feeling it's misplaced. I'm telling you, the recent Google Earth people, for some reason, keep misplacing. All right, that's a little bit better. All right, okay, here we can see this. So this is like a lake one in front. Some kind of hills, bigger hills. Some kind of hills there, some kind of hills there. And probably Peak Lenin there in the clouds. And you can see the side wall, the moraine, lateral moraine of the glacier. So it's already giving me some info. So, and if I kind of rotate myself, so if I was standing here with supposedly the person took a picture, and I was looking up the valley, I hold the shift, so I have to lean forward a little bit. So this is the lake. I think they were in front of this lake or some one of those, and could be one of those, or maybe that one. And in front of the lake, you look down the valley, and that's how it looks like. Yeah. So a little bit wanna look more north. Yeah. So that's the Lenin Peak and side moraine. It's very rough. But I don't know specifically what to picture, but it gives you indication. You got a understanding how you can use it to check reference. Or for example, like, where's this building in the middle of the moraines? What is this? And this look like some kind of pyramids. What are they? Are they alien ancient civilizations? Or they glacial melted? Or they somebody digging for the diamonds? You know. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna zoom out, zoom in. And you see how here it's look like a very, very fine rocks. There's my deposits, and there's a more bigger hills. So what's going on? So I'm trying to find some pictures. Maybe that one will give me. It's asked if it's a toilet. So that's here we go. This is the toilet in the middle of the glacier. So this you see, this is more smoother hills, the terrain you can see. There's the mountain peaks. You can kind of have a feel how high they are. And then there's nothing about this building, but it's probably some kind of station. So there's probably that toilet they're photographing. Yeah. Well, the thing is that in this valley, people come in here for whole summer with the animals, sheep, goats, and horses, and they stay in the temporary yurta camps. And then for the winter they go away, so it could be something temporary. All right, that's just one last image of this terrain. No, it doesn't show me. Doesn't show me the small hillocks. But just go to my video, the Hummocky moraine terrain, and I'll show you exactly how all the hills looks like. There's a very good picture, and there's a local animal, yak, and the yurta. This is yurta, and this is this whatever toilet or some kind of place to stay. So that's how it's look like on terrain. You can see this is the glacial deposits, more probably, and bedrock, and the glaciers at the background. And if I looked on a bigger picture, so I'm standing by the river on the south slope, and I rotate myself towards the north slope, towards the south, towards India and oceans, and Indian Ocean, and I looked, kind of bring my terrain back, so it's my camp. And you can see these peaks, you see the Lenin Peak and all other peaks, and these cirques of the glaciers, bedrocks in front, and the big valley, and the big river going down south in the deepest point of the valley. So you can already have amazing understanding of the valleys. And there's a Pukaki Lake, as I understand from my school geography classes. Amazing lake, Pukaki Lake, and you see how it looks like in the winter. These landscapes here is amazing. It looks like you're somewhere in the moon or whatever, because it's a weird combination of glaciers, a lot of rocks, and a very dry environment. And you can see there's some camels there. Tajikistan part of the Pamirs, amazing, and I haven't been there, but I dream one day. We can only dream. So the last feature I want to show you before are gone, and one more time, just stress it again. If you think I'm blah blah blah, not interesting video, please don't watch me then, because I have comments that it's just talking about nothing. Excuse me, I do like it, so if you don't want to see it, you can always don't watch it. Last feature I want to show you, you can do measurements. For example, let's come back to our camp, and I camp here, and I was like, okay, I want to go study this valley with this. Unfortunately, we have all the image. I'll show you next video how to look through the historical views. But I want to go till the river and, for example, collect some rocks because I want to study geology. So what I'm doing, I'm taking my, you see here on top you have polygon. Yeah, I show you, we build a polygon. We can also build just a line or like profile. And it's also will show you change of altitudes. And then you can put some layers. You can make movie, record the tour. So whatever I'm gonna do here, it will be recorded. This is the time photography, which you can talk next time. This is show sunlight across. So it'll show you how you see like at night, how it look in the evening, how it's gonna look like this valley in the morning, during the day. You can kind of move through the day, yeah. And you see what the shadows will be. So you can, the hills drop in the shadows. It's also give you indication of topography and orientation. And the last one, I can switch shot off. And the last one is the path. Yeah, that one, 3D path, 3D polygon, circle, polygon, path, and line. So just to build a line, you do one from here to here, yeah, and give you distance. So from my camp, I'm gonna walk till the river, yeah. So for that I need a path because it's not straight line, obviously. So I do the path, and you can build as many meters. It could be centimeters, kilometers, feet, inches, whatever you want. And I just go from the camp here, and I'm gonna walk here, and I'm gonna walk between, and then maybe I'll come out here and go down towards the river. And it will take me 2.8 thousand meters, so about 3 kilometers. So I'll make it in half an hour, even less, 20 minutes. You can do the polygon. It will give you the square or whatever, how many angles you want to have, and give you the, basically like we do here, same features. 3D path, measurements, the height and the width of 3D buildings, and 3D polygon as well. 3D building, I'm not interested in 3D buildings, but you can do that, yeah. And you can also, when you draw a line, it's also give you topography. I'll show you in another video. We don't run out of the time now. As a features, you can print it out, you can print this picture. And the thing is with Google Earth Pro, I remember I got it original because there's some couple of features which you don't have in original Google. For example, this polygons, or there's a more precise georeference, and also you can have a high resolution images. So for example, I decided, okay, I'm gonna study this is my camp and I want to print it out, yeah. So I'll go and click on save image here, print. So I'll go save image, and they give you enormous good options. So you can do map options. You can put title, legend, scale, or you can remove it. So for example, I don't want compass, so remove the compass. Yeah, but it's better to have compass. It's appearing here. This gives you the scale, so it's fantastic. So legend, remove the legend, title, description, you know, you can change it. That's how you're gonna look at different way, style, scaling. Resolution, the current resolution is that one. It's not very big, but you can go on the maximum and it's amazing. Look, it's huge resolution. So I was 8K, 4K in the maximum. So you can download very, very high resolution image, and if you go in the field, it's very useful. I suggest that. And then you save image, and it'll show you what I want to save, you know, whatever folder you go into, and you can do it, or we can close it. So that's feature which I don't believe Google Earth had, so you have to do like a print screen with a crappy resolution. So okay, so now we have these nice features. And also people praise the tours, so you kind of, you see there's a record and a microphone even though, so I can record, like I can talk right now, I do in OBS, but I can do it here and then put it on my website or something, on YouTube. So people do that too. You can also remove all this, so you have a nice wide view and travel around, zoom around, and have fun. So you learn about the measurements, and you can use it for big features. For example, let's measure big islands in kilometers. It's 1.4 thousand kilometers. Or you can use it for specific areas. For example, you want to buy a house or something like that. Let's go to somewhere in Petoni. Overpriced tiny houses. And you go to the measurements, and you can, oh come on, how big this house? And you kind of like measure it without the garden or with the garden. I did a little bit wrong like that. And it tells you in the meters or in the centimeters. So it's quite amazing. You can do this kind of stuff for polygon and study this area. Let's have a look. Maybe there'll be a view of this house we just measure. Sorry, people who lives there. As I understand, it's probably hotel. Yep. Now it looks like it's a block apartment. 3 houses or 4 houses. And that's how it's looked on a busy day, and cones everywhere. That's New Zealand for you. Oh, they're digging something. Usually on the Google Earth, when they have a picture and there's a people, this image was done 21 during the lockdowns as well. So that's why everybody wearing masks. But usually if you accidentally been on a picture in Google, oh, there's a person standing, no, it's a tree on the car. You will be blurred, your face will be blurred, car number will be blurred, this kind of stuff. But still look like this person blurred. Like, for example, your house won't be blurred, so be careful. These kind of things. So Google Earth could be used as for science, for knowledge, for you can travel the world without going anywhere, you can research area you want to go to, but it also could be used for the bad purposes, which unfortunately everything could be used in a good way or in a bad way, so let's hope it won't be. So that's the Google Earth, and stay tuned. I like this type of videos, so I will do more of those. And it's faster for me to make this type of videos because I just sit and I just talk without editing too much. I will do more about some features in Google Earth and some geomorphological things on the planet, because with the Google Earth you can show more. And in some videos in Train It, I show, for example, geological evolution of Hawaiian Islands, or I talk about the oceans or plate tectonics. So it's amazing to use it as a tool for your studies or just explore for fun. Subscribe, like it, and I'll see you in my next video.